Hello, my name's Mintz-Woo. I'm coming to you from University College Cork here in Ireland, where I'm a philosophy professor, and I'm very excited to be supporting the Good Food Institute this year, 2024, for Project for Awesome, which is a project to decrease world suck and distribute resources to charities that people vote for. So I hope you click on this charity and vote for the Good Food Institute. And the Good Food Institute looks for policies and technology to try to move us away from animal-intensive diets towards plant-based diets, to make them more effective, to make them more appealing. And there's three reasons I want to give you for why you should support the Good Food Institute today. The Good Food Institute is good for the developing world, it's good for the environment and reducing climate change, and it's good for the animals themselves. So let's start with global poverty. We know that one of the sources of global poverty is inability to cheaply purchase food, and animal products are, in many parts of the world, more expensive than plant-based alternatives. Now, animal products can be very nutrient intensive. If there were alternatives, whether clean meats, that is lab-grown meats, or other kinds of meat alternatives that were similarly nutritional but less expensive, that would be good for helping to address global poverty. The issue with animal agriculture is that it has massive what we call externalities, that is, impacts on those beyond the buyer and the seller. And the major one is climate change. When we're talking about the class of animals, especially when we're talking about the class of animals we call ruminants, ruminants are those that, for example, eat grass and process that in stomachs, they generate a huge amount of methane. So these are goats, sheep, and of course cattle and beef. That's the most important category. And methane is especially damaging as a greenhouse gas because although it's short-lived in the atmosphere, while it's in the atmosphere, it has many, many, many times the global warming of potential of carbon dioxide, which is the more famous greenhouse gas. So while methane is in the atmosphere, it does a lot more warming than carbon dioxide. Depending exactly how you compare, it might be anywhere from 20 to 70 times as much as the equivalent kilogram per kilogram of carbon dioxide. And not only is it a problem with ruminants and methane, it's also a problem with habitat destruction and forest degradation. So when we're talking about cattle in particular, cattle are often grazed in areas like Brazil where they're destroying rainforests. So you get a 1-2 punch. Both you're destroying the rainforest, which decreases the amount of carbon that's sequestered, and you're introducing more methane, which is an especially powerful warmer. So in both of these ways, we have a lot of damage to the climate. And that's just climate change. There's many other issues. I won't get into fecal matter and shit, which is an especially disgusting part of animal agriculture. And that brings us to the animals themselves. The animals themselves are severely mistreated, and the important moral philosopher Peter Singer has been really influential in what's sometimes called the animal rights movement in trying to draw attention to just how badly, especially in Western rich industrialized countries, but not only, animals are treated. So you can imagine, so these are turkeys in the US. Chickens are treated similarly, massively crowded into these concentrated feedlots where they are not able to practice their natural behaviors. Chickens are debeaked. Pigs have their tails docked, that is cut off. And all of these things are painful and do not allow the animals to do what they would naturally do. So when they're crowded together like this, disease is rampant. That means that the farmers have to use large amounts of antibiotics. The animals live short, unpleasant lives and then are killed in relatively gruesome ways. And so this kind of massive suffering, when you think about the hundreds and thousands and even millions of animals that are raised and slaughtered in this way, I hope you agree with me that alternatives to animal meat and animal agriculture are really good because they might reduce they might change our demand, and they might lead us to demand less of this, and hopefully that would lead to less production and supply. So again, how does the Good Food Institute deal with this? Well, the Good Food Institute does both support of policy for animal agricultural alternatives, clean meat and things like this, but they also support the technologies. They try to support companies that are developing alternatives to try to make them cheaper, more tasty, more appealing to consumers, and that's something I think we can all get behind. Thanks for watching. I hope you click and support the Good Food Institute, and have a great day.